Yeah, hey everyone, I'm David Wise, and I am actually calling in from Saas-Fee, Switzerland, where Britta just left. I decided to stay an extra week and get a little more work done here. And I apologize if there's any weird noises in the background. I'm sharing a room with some other guys, so who knows what's going to happen here. But I'm really excited to join you all and thankful for the opportunity. That's a great question. Going into my third Olympics, I'm getting a lot of questions about, what's it going to mean to you to, potentially win your third gold medal, or how much pressure do you feel to win again? And the reality for me is I'm still in a state in my career where I'm trying to find what the limits are for what I can do on a pair of skis. And it's not necessarily about comparing myself to my peers and my competitors. It's more about what can I do with the body I was given and how far can I take this? So I've been having a lot of fun trying to innovate and do things differently than I have in the past, but still with the same level of progression. So I think it's going to be a really exciting season, and I'm really excited to be able to share that with my family. Obviously, my family makes massive sacrifices. We all come from a team of people who do all kinds of things for us. We have physios that travel with us, coaches that are constantly on the road with us away from their families, and ski techs. And there's tons of sacrifice behind each athlete that gets to go out there and represent us for Team USA. But nobody makes more sacrifice, I think, than my family. Because, my wife is missing a husband most of the year, and my kids are missing their dad most of the time. I miss out on birthdays. I miss out on important days and soccer games and all kinds of important things. So in one way, it's a motivation for me to really ski at the very best I can when I'm out here, and not slack off. But on the other hand, it's really cool to be able to experience this part of my career with my family and have them be able to come along for the ride when they can, and always knowing that they're supporting me. And in the end, if I go to my third Olympics and don't win another medal, or have a bad day, I know they're going to be back home supporting me, and they love me no matter what goes down. So that kind of gives me a little bit of extra, competitive fire, if you will, because I don't have anything to prove. Yeah, my family, my daughter was born when I was 21. It was at the very beginning of my competitive career, really, when I had finally turned pro and I was making money skiing. So it's kind of normal to them. I think certainly there's times when my kids wish I had a normal job. But what's cool about the grind that we do is that when I'm gone, I'm gone. But when I'm home, I can give them a lot more than your typical, 9-to-5 work dad could do. So I guess that's my main focus, is quality over quantity, because I'm not there for a quantity of things, but the time that we do have together has great potential to be very high quality. And so I make a huge effort to really kind of clear my schedule when I'm home. There's certainly opportunities that I miss and things. There's always business things that pop up that you could be doing when you're home. But I really try to clear my schedule, turn my phone off, and spend that quality time with my kids and wife when I'm home. We go on family trips, we go camping, we do all kinds of stuff together. And that makes those, the long separations a little bit easier to handle, because you can remember the good times and they can look forward to the next trip. Like a perfect example is I'm here in Saas-Fee, and then I'll be home for a week, and then we turn around and go right back to Kitzsteinhorn in Austria. And then when we get back from Austria, we basically have 8 or 10 days before we head to Colorado and start training again. And it's going to be, from that point, it's going to be one thing to the next to the next. So while probably physically it would be really good for me to just stay home and chill out for those 10 days, I'm actually going to take the kids on a trip to Hawaii, and we're going to just have our last hurrah, our vacation before the mayhem begins. So those are the kind of sacrifices that I have to make as a father who's doing this grind versus somebody else who's not, is I have to realize, for me, it's way more important that my family's happy and healthy than that I'm the absolute best skier of all time. So when I am dialing in my priorities. I still do have to put them first a lot of the time, and it makes my approach to skiing a little bit different, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, I kind of agree with Jamie and Britta. You can kind of tell who's a veteran traveler by how much stuff they bring. The person who shows up to the airport going on an overseas trip with 5 bags, you can kind of tell is a rookie, because the more I travel, the less I bring. I really limit the items down to exactly what I need. I usually pack clothes for about a week or maybe 10 days, no matter how long the trip is. And then I just end up doing laundry on the road, because it just simplifies your life so much not to be like stressing about being overweight on the plane and all that kind of stuff. On the flip side, my ski company that I've worked with for years now, Moment Skis, have nicknamed me the ski breaking or the ski test dummy, because I have a tendency to break more equipment than anybody else. So I bring, I don't know, between 4 and 10 pairs of skis, depending on how long we're going to be there and what the conditions are supposed to be like. I break more things when it's cold out than when it's warm out. So I have 4 pairs of skis with me on this trip, and it's about a 4-week trip. And I've made my way through, I've broken 2 individual skis, which means I still have 3 full pairs left. So I think I'll be good. I guess the nice thing for me in my career now is that I don't have anything left that I need to prove. Whether we're talking about proving to other people or proving even to myself, I don't, even if I had to quit skiing tomorrow competitively, I wouldn't feel like I was dissatisfied. I've had an amazing career to this point. And now looking forward, I really am just trying to sort of embrace the opportunity that I've been given. I could have quit after the last Olympics if I wanted to, but I still had that hunger. I still had that fire to go out there and see what else I could do on skis. And that fire is not going to last forever in the game of half pipe skiing, but I'm going to be a lifelong skier. And I'm always looking for some new adventure, some new obstacle to overcome, some new task to learn how to do, something that I'm not good at that I can increase my skill level at. And so, yeah, I'm just taking it one day at a time and trying to see where I can take skiing. When I was growing up skiing, it was like the highest honor for somebody to tell you did something steezy, or steez being the word. So that's a combination of the word style and ease, steez. So if you do something hard, but make it look easy, it's usually steezy. Philosophically, I don't feel any pressure. Like when I take the time to sit back and think about it, how cool it would be to, have a career where I won 3 Olympic gold medals in a row. I don't feel any pressure to do that, but man, that would be cool. But on the day-to-day things, on the daily grind, I would say that's where that pressure kind of catches me off guard, where, when I'm training and I'm not accomplishing as much as I expected to on that given day, or I'm struggling with one trick or another, that's when that pressure starts to creep in. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not the best I could possibly be in this moment. So it's important to take time and have solitude and remind yourself that why you're out there, and that we're out there to enjoy the bodies that we've been given and do the best we absolutely can. But there are things that are outside our control too. And one thing that I constantly reflect on this topic is the fact that both of the gold medals I've already won seem unreal to me. I don't think of them as like, I don't look back on those days and like hype myself up and say, yeah, I just went out there and crushed it and that's mine, I earned it. I really have this overwhelming sense of gratitude that it actually happened that way, and I'm kind of surprised. So I think that kind of helps me not to feel pressured when I look at it that way. Like I'm already so fortunate to have won 2 of these things. Another one would be icing on the cake, but by no means is it expected, or there's so many things that are outside my control that could come between me and that opportunity. So I'm just taking it one day at a time and trying to stay balanced and level going into it and see how it plays out. Yeah, the reality for us as athletes is that we live in a realm of compartmentalization, meaning there are constantly things that are going wrong at all times, whether you missed your flights or your bags didn't show up or whatever it is. There's things that are outside your control that you have to just let go of. So we're going to compartmentalize going into this Olympics, and we're going to treat it like another competition. And I love the Olympics for the fact that it draws the world's attention to not only the athletes and the sports they compete in, but also the world and what's going on around those things. But I personally don't have enough bandwidth or emotional or mental or any type of energy to take the Olympics as my platform and use my personal brand to combat certain issues that are going around in the world. I like to do those things on a personal level. My wife and I are constantly volunteering and donating to organizations that we agree with or that we feel like are doing good things. But I'm not a genius. I can't go out there and give my sport the attention that I want to give it while also simultaneously being distracted by trying to make the right political statement during the games. My mental and spiritual health kind of go hand in hand. And when one is not right, then the other one's not usually right. So it's really important during crazy times of your life like we're about to have, just to remain grounded. For me, I feel like my faith is a big part of what grounds me. Constantly reading the good word, spending time in prayer and meditation, having that solitude away from all the distractions and all the noise is really huge for me. And I think one of the most vital things for any athlete is to surround yourself with people who care about who you are, not what you do. And I've been very fortunate. Obviously, I got married young, so I've had a wife by my side for most of my career. But I've also had some low times in my career where people who pretended to be my friends when I was winning things suddenly disappeared. And it's been kind of vital for me because I've been able to weed out the people and the influences who just want to take from me and don't want to give anything back. And most of the close friendships that I have now are all people who love me for who I am, not what I've done on a pair of skis. So that's a huge part of mental health. And so I'm going to spend as much time as I can with the family and just enjoy the ride.